Hello, everybody. My name is Khalil. I'm in the group with Noah and Will, and today we will be talking to you about reading partners and just how they could benefit from sort of an IT overhaul. So, to go over the presentation, we'll do some background on the organization, and then we'll discuss some of their technology shortfalls, and then Noah and Will really dive into what some of those solutions could be. So, to start, Reading Partners was established in 1999. It was founded with the belief that reading is a fundamental right and advancing literacy provides educational equity for students. This idea has helped the organization spread to 11 states. Their primary focus is K through fourth grade students, and the organization has been instrumental in helping these students acquire the foundational reading needed for long term academic success. Each year, thousands of community members, supported by AmeriCorps members, deliver structured reading lessons to students. This volunteer model has provided students with consistent yet personalized attention and instruction, and the success of a well-managed volunteer-based instructional program requires a strong operational process and a reliable digital platform. The defining aspect of Reading Partners' teaching model is its reliance on the science of reading. This is a comprehensive evidence-based framework that incorporates all five domains of literacy and that are defined by the National Reading Panel. That's phonological awareness, phonics, fluency, vocab, and comprehension. By grounding the curriculum in these proven strategies, RP, Reading Partners, has aligned its program with some of the best practices in the nation. So, where could it be going wrong, right? I understand that would then be a big question. Well, in the midst of COVID, Reading Partners was faced with the need to go virtual to adapt with the widespread school closures. This change was made without the proper IT system. And so, one big thing that was needed is the need to secure the rapid implementation of modern technologies. We use Salesforce to store the data, and management would use Salesforce then to run reports, but all of the information was added by hand by the site coordinators, which leads to our next point. There was a manual data entry bottleneck. And so site coordinators were on site. They were tasked with inputting and verifying the data, then updating each student's information if there were any changes. For example, once the student completed a lesson, it was the site coordinator's job to log into the student account, notate that those changes or that the lesson had been completed, and then determine the appropriate next lesson. And that just it takes a lot of time, especially if the site coordinator is balancing 5, 10, 15 students in a session. There was a lack of real-time technical expertise. Everything fell on the site coordinators. And like I stated earlier, they were AmeriCorps members, so they don't have a history of IT usually. And so it was a lot of if a tutor couldn't log into their Gmail account that day, couldn't figure out how to work Zoom, or couldn't get the PowerPoint to load, that was all on the site coordinator. And then if the site coordinator couldn't figure out the fix, there's potential that maybe the student just didn't get to have their lesson that day, which isn't great. There needed to be a um, standardized intermediate platform for a better interface of those lessons programs. So, like I stated before, if the tutor couldn't log into PowerPoint, if all of those lessons were then housed on a data or on a website or like a database, then the tutor would have maybe a link that they could log into versus banking that the email is going to open up that day. And lastly, the implementation should reflect the core mission and help the organization achieve the science, achieve the science of reading, right? And so creating something that was a bit more effective and a bit more efficient would align with who Reading Partners is. Now, Noah will go a bit more into automation for us.
Thank you, Khalil. Yeah, I would start with what is IT automation? What are some ways that IT automation can benefit nonprofit organizations? And also, what are some specific areas that reading partners could benefit from automating some of their online services? Beginning with a definition of IT automation, I would say that it's making menial tasks efficient. taking tasks that would otherwise be done by hand by employees of an organization that are relatively simplistic, like sending out reminder emails, and using a software or a third-party service to automate these tasks. There's a lot of benefits of this for nonprofit organizations. It can help them improve the efficiency and the quality of the service that they provide. It can save the valuable time of nonprofit employees, as well as prevent some human error that occasionally slips through the cracks when manually completing these tasks. One thing is it can also save money long term for an organization. There are some upfront costs to using third-party services to automate IT tasks, but these usually are pretty minimal. There's a lot of vendors that will offer their service for free to organizations under a certain size. Some vendors offer discounts to nonprofit organizations, or offer prices that scale just depending on the size of the organization. So there's a lot of ways that an organization could go about this, with if they have limited resources in a way that would not break the bank. If I may have the next slide, please. Now, some areas to automate with reading partners. I chose some examples that involve data entry bottlenecking, that I thought would tie in nicely together. There are a few different examples of pretty simple tasks that reading partners has their employees do by hand. And these are areas that could really easily be automated to improve the efficiency of the organization and also make it provide better for the students who are getting tutoring lessons from them. The first is with the organization's email system, for instance, sending out reminder emails for tutoring sessions. This is something that a load of different vendors offer really affordable solutions for. You can super easily find software that caters directly to the needs of nonprofit organizations, that for a very good price that will automate your email system with sending out reminder emails. If you want to do fundraising, they can help you with that. They can give you information on email analytics. There's a ton of very great options for this that are within the price range of an organization like Reading Partners. Another one is scheduling tutoring sessions. Currently, these are inputted into the organization's calendar by hand, by employees. This is something that could easily be done through their website. You could set up a calendar system where maybe a parent wants to schedule a tutoring session for their child. They can just get onto the website, pick out a date and a time, and it will automatically be entered into the organization's calendar. I provided Google Calendar as a great solution for this because they offer their API for free. It's really easy to integrate with a lot of other third-party programs. I think this is a really straightforward solution for reading partners that wouldn't require a lot of technical knowledge to implement. A final one that I think ties in nicely with these first two examples is creating Zoom meetings for online tutoring sessions. There are third-party vendors that will allow you to connect your calendar system with a Zoom account or the Zoom accounts of the organization's tutors and will automatically create meeting links for these tutoring sessions. So combining a service that automates your Zoom, creating Zoom sessions, combining that with your Google Calendar that the Reading Partners is using, and with an automated emailing system that sends out reminder emails, and alerts for upcoming tutoring sessions. I think this would tie in to be a really good way that you could automate something that is really simple tasks that are time consuming for employees of the organization that occasionally can be prone to human error. I think this is a great solution to automate these tasks and save a lot of time for the organization itself. I'll now pass it off to Will, who will offer some more technical insight into how to implement these recommendations.
Thank you, Noah. So, besides automation, or on top of automation, I want to go back to what Khalil was talking about with the capacity issue. Uh, I want to recommend that Reading Partners uses middleware applications and AI-driven tools. First off, middleware acts as an intermediary platform between the software the school is using and the application program interfacing that hosts the actual lesson plan. Apache Kafka is a distributive system. This is a middleware that delivers consistent messaging, content integrity, and reduces system latency. Similarly, WebSphere, another middleware, scales operations to match the needs of the student and teacher. It optimizes response times for concurrent sessions. So if the site coordinator is managing 15 to 20 students, they can do it off of one platform. Microsoft tools like Power BI offer real-time performance analytics tools, along with predictive modeling for high-impact interventions and generative AI to reduce prep times for lesson plans. Microsoft Dynamics 365 combines AI with live agent support. It has also been proven that the total cost of ownership for this program has reduced customer representation management by 40%. I believe it can do the same for academics as well. The major advantage of Microsoft tools over Google and Salesforce is it can be used on premises and virtually through the cloud. Similarly, Microsoft Suite tools like Teams that's used for video conferencing, along with Zoom, can be used to help with collaboration. Next slide, please. So here we have a diagram of how middleware is integrated into the school software. So down here we have the hardware that is being used. Hopefully it's a durable hardware in a secure location. With system software, we have utilities, the OS, and the drivers. And up here we have the middleware that's integrated with the lesson plan. Next slide, please. So now we can move on to service delivery gaps and opportunities. With reading partners, let's first talk about the financials. With any nonprofit organization, there is always a balance between core functionalities, the mission statements, and support expenses. These support expenses are funding for resource-specific internet capabilities and technical expertise. We recommend that they hire technical expertise besides the ones that Chloe's talking about with AmeriCorps volunteers. We want live agent support that are well-versed in privacy laws, along with the AI support systems like Copilot. Well, we have to ask ourselves, what users have access to the systems? What are the limitations, which I'll get into later? And do they have standardized communication protocols? With cybersecurity, we recommend middleware, that is something that offers timely updates, sharing current info, and provisional offline access. It also offers rapid prototyping as well, just in case reading partners need to switch up their modeling. One of the downsides is AI tools over reliance on high quality data that results in biased AI algorithms. There's also the issue with bandwidth, especially with students' personal devices. What we have to realize is it all distills down to the teacher-student engagement, the science of reading that was discussed earlier. Some of the channels that we recommend are periodic surveys with students, volunteers, teachers, and support staff, one-on-one interviews, and real-time IT support. Next slide, please. So we've talked about all these different recommendations, but we have to bear in mind that all these recommendations have to be specific to each school system. These capacity issues, as we talked about, can be addressed through automation, middleware, and Microsoft AI-driven tools. Moving forward, we need to operate, our reading partners to operate in a fluid educational environment. There needs to be ongoing collaboration with different school systems that tailor their recommendations to meet the needs of the students and teachers. Next slide, please. Thank you for your time. And thank you for listening to this presentation. Next slide, please. And here are our references. Okay.